Hi, good morning. Today's Friday, February 7th. I almost said January. Time is weird here, especially I'm reflecting on lesson 37 of A Course in Miracles. And this lesson says, "My holiness blesses the world." This is another one that just due to the sheer amount of stuff going on yesterday, I did not really get to practice this. I did, however, return to the messages I received during yesterday morning's card pulls and feeling into that energy of the day. And what had come through was an abundance of positivity is what the energy like I was supposed to bring into the day. And so I definitely did that, and I anchored back to that feeling of that message over and over. But I didn't really have the capacity to practice this. My holiness blesses the world. And so I was just feeling into it this morning more. And I'm going to read this because I was like, what is it aiming for? What's it doing? Look at these little bananas. The other day, the instructor who used to be my TA for my class, now he's an instructor here. He's awesome, and he's taller than me, bigger than me, fit wise, and so his presence is larger physically than mine. And then so I'm kind of looking up at him. I hear him talking, and then I turn my attention toward him. I need both hands for this. And I gotta figure out how to set this up. Hold on. Okay. So he's I'm in now. So I look up at him, and he's over here like this with this tiny banana going, peeling it, holding it like this. But he's not doing it to be funny. He was full on serious talking. Peeling this tiny banana. As soon as I was so into what I had heard him starting to talk about, I was so serious moving into it, and then I see that, and I was like, whoa. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm sorry. You're a tiny banana. But seriously, these are so good. You get a container of them, and are just so creamy. And the reason I had to eat these this morning is because they were more than ripe. So these are extra creamy and sweet. I don't tend to care for sweet stuff as much. I prefer the bananas greener, but these are still amazing. And they taste better longer even after they're in that ripe state. I don't know what kind of bananas they are, but they're the cutest little things, and they're amazing. Not the point of what I was going to talk about, but I'm eating them. So my holiness blesses the world. And so this idea contains the first glimmerings of your true function in the world, or why you are here. Your purpose is to see the world through your own holiness. Thus are you and the world blessed together. No one loses. Nothing is taken away from anyone. Everyone gains through your holy vision. So through this way of looking at the world, nothing is taken from anyone. I'm not looking at somebody through judgment or comparison or whatever. It's my holiness blesses the world. The way I see is blessing you. The way I look look at you as blessing you, And it signifies the end of sacrifice because it offers everyone his full due, and he is entitled to everything because it is his birthright as the Son of God. There is no other way in which the idea of sacrifice can be removed from the world's thinking. Like, you can't remove it if it's there. Only by seeing things with your holiness means you're not putting that bad stuff there in the first place to have to be removed. That's how I take it. Any other way of seeing will inevitably demand payment of someone or something. Like the way I look at somebody in judgment or comparisons, like demanding something of them, or some rectifying of some way of seeing things, like some correction. As a result, the perceiver will lose, nor will he have any idea why he is losing. Yet is his wholeness restored to his awareness through your vision. Your holiness blesses him by asking nothing of him. Those who see themselves as whole make no demands. So your holiness is the salvation of the world. It lets you teach the world that it is one with you, not by preaching to it, not by telling it anything, but merely by your quiet recognition that in your holiness, all things are blessed along with you. I had to read the whole thing. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my God. And that's why it's building on the prior day's lesson, which is my holiness envelops everything I see. And the prior day's lesson to that was my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. And then my holiness envelops everything I see. And then my holiness blesses the world. And you can put practice into this, like my holiness blesses this bed. My holiness blesses this water bottle. My holiness blesses this tiny banana. Life can be that simple and beautiful somehow. I think the struggle is like getting out of our own heads and removing all of these self-limiting beliefs, judgments, comparisons, expectations, hurt feelings, blame of others, blame of ourselves, like basically the whole human experience. That's so easy, right? Like, I was describing this concept to someone yesterday, like in the context of like learning something new. Like, let's take body work, for example. Body work is a combination of book learning. Like, I've got a logical left brain, if you do that whole left brain, right brain thing, although it's not 100% accurate. But if you think about logical versus intuitive, creative versus structured and rigid, like there's the way to learn something, and there's a reason for the way of learning it, and we're going to follow these steps, and it's going to build on, concepts build onto each other, things go in a certain order. There's reason and logic for why things are structured in the way we're learning body work. We're learning the science of it. We're learning the history of it. We're learning the conceptual aspects of the art pieces of it. Like, why is this an art form? What is human touch? We're learning about the emotions of it. So we're learning like the brain stuff of body work. And in practice, physically doing it with our bodies on someone else's body, we are embodying the learning. First, you gotta learn the rules, embody the book learning. It's like step 1, 2, 3. Okay, now my body has to take what I know step 1 to be, what I know step 2 to be, and 3 to be. And I've witnessed it in a demonstration. That's still of the brain. It's only gone in through the eye. I've consumed it. I've consumed it. And now I have to embody it and output it. Embody it and output it. And so there's this way that in our Western style of learning, for the most part, is consume the conceptual and then output the doing of the thing through the body. That's how we do. So we all have a different starting point, right? Like I might be 1000% here, and I might feel disconnected from my body. Like I don't know how to get it from here out. I've never had to maybe practice that before. And like, yeah, I know how to brush my teeth. I don't have to think about it. I know how to put on my socks. I know how to, like, even with my body, do things that I don't think about because I've just done them forever. It's second nature. It's intuitive. It's natural. But when learning something new, it hasn't become natural yet or intuitive. And I certainly haven't been learned to flow with it or let go with it and let it take me over. Like we're just not there yet, and it's going to be maybe a longer road to get there because I'm starting from more here. Some people are starting from all body. Like it's fascinating to witness, especially with body work. Like they're like first flowing with it, and it's like that's beautiful. Don't lose that. But let's also, and in this case especially, let's also, there's a reason why it's taught this way. Trust the process sort of thing. And first of all, you don't want to hurt your clients. There's reasons why that looks beautiful, but it's not entirely safe for your body either. Your body mechanics, you're going to hurt. You're going to burn out. Like the flow state you're in, like right away is like goals, right? Like me personally, like to be embodied has been a journey. So like I am like, you look like all of that is beautiful. And let's bring some like this into it for the sake of like, okay, I don't want to hurt my body. I've got to be conscious of like why I need to have my body in a certain position. I got to be conscious of like, oh, I can't go to that part of the body yet because it's not warmed up enough yet. Like there's just like some things, some science, honestly, like there's like logic behind a lot of this stuff. And this goes with any topic. I'm just like body work's an example because I'm here right now. And then some people are a mix already of the brain and the body, and they're finding their equilibrium. Like, oh, I need a little more brain, I need a little more like understanding here. And then some people are like, oh wait, I need a little more body embodiment here. Get out of my head. We're all at a different point in that mind-body fluidity. What's your own equilibrium at any moment? It's going to differ day by day on the learning journey. And so a coworker and I were talking about this, like, you know, like really understanding like who might need some more help with one aspect or another. Meeting them where they are. Isn't that fun? It's so fun to be in this role of like kind of trying to gauge whether my perception's accurate or not. I can only do my best in that role of perceiving where they are and then checking with them like Am I picking up what you're putting out sort of vibe? Like, am I perceiving where you are? Without those exact words. And then helping them from that point find an equilibrium that keeps everyone safe, everyone feeling like this is the best massage I've ever had, all the things. And it's just so fun. It's like so beautiful the way people who are all up here are finding their way into here. Oh man. And the people who are all like, are like, oh yeah, I feel better in my body. Bringing some awareness to that. Like the reason why I need to do things in maybe a certain way, a little bit. And then they're like, yeah, that feels good. Man, it is so fun. I got off track. My holiness blesses the world. There's a reason, like, I brought this up. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the not demanding anything of anyone, not judging somebody. That's what it was. I think that's why I'm thinking of it. Because there's this human nature tendency to think like, and I still deal with it. I'm trying to let it go little by little. I've told you about that already. I go into the ocean and like, I'll take it away, like surrender it all the time. In fact, we have a team staff happy hour tonight. I don't drink, so I'll be drinking a mocktail or juice, whatever they've got without alcohol. But I still want to go for the happy hour-ness of, like, it's been a week and it's been a month for a lot of people. And I hope it still happens, given that there's a lot going on. I hope we can all still get together. But I feel like there's this human tendency to like, here's my frame of reference, my perspective, my own knowing of myself. And I feel like I do things the right way. And then it's like, I project that onto people like, well, your way should look like my way because honestly, mine's the best way. Anyway, I laugh because I've been letting that go of like stripping away expectation, judgment, comparison, all that nasty stuff. Because I want to have a vision through my eyes that is holy. Like there's no judgment or expectation of how something should look or how something should play out or where you should be. Even in the teaching role, we try to like, okay, everyone has a different starting point and we're going to get you there. Because at the end of the day, not only do you have to pass this intensely rigorous program, like it's like top notch, intensely rigorous and high standard, like the highest standards, you have to go pass a national exam. It doesn't care where you went to school. It doesn't care about your experience. You have to pass a national exam. Even though we're in Costa Rica, this school is accredited in the U.S. We have to pass a U.S. national exam. So we have to get people from 0 to 100, whatever, in 4 months. Plus the body work practice. The exam is all like online. So it's not body work. There's concepts, but it's not the doing. So the people that are already so beautiful, it's like, I'm sorry, that's beautiful. Put a pin in that. But we got to get everybody to that finish line. You don't all have to look the same at the finish line, but you all need to pass that exam. And then you can just, you be you. And I love also how this program does honor the you be you while you're in the program. Like, this is your journey. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's. And yet, you're all going to get there. in your own way at the same time, because this is time-based. So anyway, that my holiness blesses the world. That's what I've been striving for, is that stripping away comparison. And it's like, that's, I think, why this came up, this example of the school, body work, any sort of learning environment where you just hope that everyone can like rise to the challenge, right? It's more like an intense, so much desire to see everyone succeed that sometimes that even that human element, if it's not naturally there for some reason, of that like expectation and comparison, even the fact that you want so much for everyone to succeed, so it's coming from like a very positive, uplifting, good place, intention, it can still turn a little attached. Like, I'm so attached to you succeeding that I might try to mold you a little too much. You know what I mean? So there's this constant checking in with myself of like, your journey doesn't have to look like mine. You don't have to do things like I do them. And yet, there's the expectation that at the end of this, you have to pass a national exam. And when you tell people you graduated this program, I want to be proud that we're colleagues. Not have somebody say, what are they producing down there? Like, you know, reputation matters, to have that pride and like this shared experience, knowing how awesome it is and can be. So we want everyone to like, the rising tide like rises all ships, or whatever it is. So it's like, we want everyone to succeed in their own way. But there are, and yet there are high standards that we have to uphold for so many reasons. So I have a lot of feelings about this now, being on this side. I have the student feelings of it, and now the TA's feelings of it, and getting glimpses into the administration side of it is like, they do so much here, so much good work. I'm really so appreciative, grateful, and humbled by like, whoa, thinking back to my time as a student, they held us so, I knew they were there for us, supporting us. It was hard, and they got us through it in a very supportive way. And so that's the holiness I want to see, is like not from a place of judging and comparison and expectation, the attachment kind of expectation, but the expectation of like having so much confidence and faith in someone and hope in their success, not hope to the point where it turns like attached, but like the cheerleader aspect of it, like, you got this, like even when you don't see it in yourself, because you don't even know what that looks like yet. This is all new. Whatever new experience you're in, it's new because you haven't done it before. So you don't know sometimes what you're capable of, because it's a whole new paradigm. Like, I've never been in these dynamics. I think I might do well, but really, do I know? So even when they don't have the confidence or the sight of their own to see it, I can be like, oh yeah, you are gonna rock people's worlds when you get out of here. Like, you have no idea what you're capable of. We've talked about that too. Like, these students are like, oh my God, they are gonna be amazing therapists. It's exciting. I'm gonna have to travel around the country and go get massages from all of them. So that's the holiness I want to keep seeing with, is that like positivity, and also just eventually, like, sometimes I love just feeling equanimity, like the isness of all things. Like, I can do both. I can be so excited for you because life is like so joyful, can be, and also like it just is, You know, your experience just is. You don't have to judge it. I don't have to judge it. It just is. And that's holiness. Like, everything just is. And it's okay. And it's just ising all over the place. Oh my God. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Lesson 37. It's beautiful. I kind of want to peek at what's next. Okay, I gotta go read this one and know how I'm gonna practice it today so that I actually do it.